school. I had two possible career paths to choose. I would either go into teaching or marry a rich man. But unfortunately, I passed the entrance exam to university, so I had no chance to become a self-made millionaire. So that proves one thing. I only wanted to go into teaching. And when I finally became a freshman in TEDxCanThoUniversity, University, I met a really dedicated teacher, really inspiring, teaching us what it takes to become a good teacher, but at the same time, pointed out that I lacked a very important potential to become one. Can you guess what it is? Well, it was not that my proficiency was not up to par, but it was my limitation in appearance and charisma. Of course, that was very devastating. A person whom you admired and the profession you've always longed about. But little did I know at the time, that was a blessing in disguise. As time went by, that insecurity started to grow upon me. No matter what I do, or no matter how hard I tried, I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I wasn't cut out to become a teacher. I had fear. But you know what? We've got two possible ways to interpret the word fear. So you can either forget everything and run, or forget everything and rise. And I chose both. I ran from my weakness and rise to another field that have little knowledge about. Well, at the time, I've got to confess that I was an introvert. I didn't know how to maintain a conversation with others, let alone break the ice. And I even had telephone phobia, which was a condition when you felt like, oh my God, someone is calling, and I didn't have courage to pick it up. And I just let it by. Well, when I finally joined the sales team, even though I had seen it coming, I was a bit taken aback because my team was all alpha male, leaving me the only girl, fresh in knowledge and great in experience. So the funny thing was that the mutual mission of every profession is good, but somehow in business it was distorted in an unpleasant way. Back when I was a teacher, I received appreciation and compliments from both parents and teachers. But when I became a salesperson, they only thought that, oh, it was just a KPI visit, or I just wanted to hop out their money. And people don't want to lose money at all. Well, and sometimes it was stigmatized with manipulation. So, do you want to know the magic of manipulation? I'll show you how to manipulate splendidly. Well, have you ever received a cold call like, hello, I'm from ABC company and I got something to offer to you? I think a lot of that calls ended up being hung up because we don't want to lose money and they just want to sell. When I was in business, I was taught the 4 B's. Oh, don't worry, it's not the brand beauty or, okay, not like that. But the 4 B's were, the first B was befriend, and the second one was bring about. The third one was be bought, and the fourth one was bestowed. Or in Vietnamese, you can say bang, 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 bang. Okay, let's get back to the first B, which is bang or befriend. I think it is, it makes sense, right? We are more likely to buy from our friends or make transaction easier. But the question is, who are we? And why would people want to make friends with us, especially when we're in an inferior level? So I twisted a little bit by making my 2 B's, which were bestow and believe. I brought the very last one to the very first, bestow. Well, speaking of bestow, let me tell you about the story of one of my hard-to-please customers. Well, he was around 60, never talked, and never smiled. It was really hard to please. He only called when he needed service. And, well, remember earlier I told you about how I've got telephone phobia. I was so scared. And whenever he called, I would stop everything and focus on him. But you know what? What was worse? It was about his voice. His speed was like the IELTS listening test. And his voice texture was exactly like the guy on And of course, I made wrong orders all the time, which caused nuisances for my company, the transportation company, and of course his. So you can tell how much he hated me and didn't want to continue working with me. Okay, so I wasn't good at teaching, and now in my new field, I wasn't good at all. And then one fine day, when I was browsing in a convenience store, buying some snack, to get over my sadness, and then I thought of him all of a sudden. I felt like, maybe he was lonely, and why didn't I buy something for him? And out of courtesy, I bought him a box of cereal. And when I came to the store and greeted him, of course he didn't even look at me. But when he realized that I got him a gift, he was really surprised. And, well, he changed and almost burst into tears. Well, I don't know how you define success at the time, but that was my greatest achievement. And you can guess what happened next. He was really sweet to me, really gentle, and even made more orders than he actually needed. I got it. Well, so, can you see how it transformed from a taker to the giver? Well, I know because normally, even in the mind of consumer, we're still takers. But you know the difference? When you are the giver, you are in a superior level. But when you are the taker, you are in an inferior level. Why? Because givers will never be afraid of losing. But indeed, takers will lose sleep if they find out that they don't get enough. When you are the giver, you are respected and cherished. And the second way I would like to share is that belief. I think it is old but gold. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your product. Of course, back when I was working for one of the largest beverage companies in the world, I completely believed in the values I brought. I didn't even allow my nephews and nieces to drink any other drinks because I felt like I was fortunate enough to know the values of the company and pass it on to every person I know. And well, just the other day, one of my nephews still asked me if he were allowed to drink any other drinks than Coke. So I think I was successful in imprinting the brand image of the company in his mind. And you know what? It also resonates in education with the word believe. So back in business, how would you find, so what if you can't find any good in what you're doing? So what if somebody insults your company and you don't have the gut to fight back or take it personally? So I guess it's also an agony to you. So in education, it applies the same way. I guess most students don't score their potential once they realize the importance it brings. For example, I met some students majoring in English who were having background knowledge equaled 0, but since they found out that it was the only source of income and they couldn't get away with it, so they got to love it. So if you cannot kill it, why don't you love it? So when you're in love, everything is sweeter, don't you think? And sometimes people just say, oh, really, that's easier said than done. But I guess we can talk about self-concept. And it's more than just belief, we've got to have self-concept. Self-concept is the idea that you have about yourself and how you see other people see you. For example, when you think that, oh, I'm a kind person, and of course, you're gonna be attracted to nice things, and people will see that things in you. And in education, it applies the same. When you think you are a master of an area, you've got to be the master. You've got to act like a master. So when I speak English, I always feel like I'm an American, or sometimes a British lady. And when I sell, I always believe the values I bring. Some people just say that, oh, but I know how to do it. Right, if you don't know how to practice self-concept, let's get back to the first B, which is bestow. Yeah, that's good. And give others a chance to help you. I think it applies in Benjamin Franklin, the law of attraction as well. When you want to build a rapport with somebody, ask them to help you. So they're more likely to help you compared to those who you have helped. It always works. So I guess now my question is exactly what I did to get him to like me. So, self-concept and bestow. Once I get to know these words, it's easier. Not only did I overcome my doubt, I got momentum along the way. I resigned the moment I was offered a promotion in my job, despite all the work and all the belief I had. I realized that, I belong to teaching. And I've got to thank all the experience that I had. If it weren't for the self-doubt, if it weren't for the misunderstanding of my work and my condition, I wouldn't have made such a big move. And once I did, I realized a lot, making friends with people from all walks of life, and a lot of lessons along the way. So the next time, when you feel like, oh, I know how to do it, you're right. It's all in your mind. Just open it, manifest it. You'll be the best. No, don't use the word will. You are the best at the moment. Thank you.